I want to ask you, what inspired the creation of the Southeast United Table, and what does table mean?
So table means togetherness, acceptance, brotherly love, leadership with humility and encouragement. So the table is allowing pastors or anybody in the community to sit at a table. A table is usually unified for just coming together and talking. In biblical times, as the Last Supper, Jesus came to the table and he sat with his disciples, even Judas who portrayed him, and they had serious conversations of what it looks like. At that table, they broke bread and things of that nature. But at this table that we call the Southeast table, we come together and talk about hard things in our community. Personally, I feel that our community is broken because our faith is not as strong as it needs to be, and the faith communities can do a better job at doing that. So getting them to the table and say, how can we be these neighborhoods? How can we feed these neighborhoods, our sheep? So we talk about what that is, and that's what the table is, kind of that option. And it's good, man, because it's a lot of different denominations, but at the same time, we have the same common denominator, and that's Jesus.
The Southeast side is very dear to my heart. You know, I was born on Baker Court,
Okay.
Pulley Hill.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you, culture is like a huge part of the city.
Yeah.
How would you describe the culture of the Southeast side of Canton? Because I definitely feel it's its own area.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? So how would you describe that?
I would say to that, I think all parts of Canton got its own
Facts.
culture, but Southeast is, I think you said it best, tradition. And it has a rich history over there. And people still know their history over there. But it has a little broken history from when Route 30 came in and kind of displaced a lot of people. But when I see a lot of the Southeast, it's rich in history, it's rich in love, and it's really, it's a history of progress, as you said it.
Love the Southeast, man. Very dear to my heart. I love looking at those pictures from back in the day. My father, you know what I'm saying, the Southeast, and people just walking around. And I remember Jackson Pool when the pool was there, man. They always had them great memories of Jackson Pool. I wish they bring that back, man.
Man, you and a whole bunch of other people.
How often do you hear that? Like Jackson Pool,
Often,
you hear it often too?
Especially you talk to some of the older people,
Man.
older residents. They even before that, like Jackson Park, I didn't even know it was a park.
Me neither.
Like they said, man, after church, because churches was all over, they just go, everybody, and it was almost a family reunion every Sunday. Go down there, play baseball, and like you said, all the local legends was over there.
Man.
I was like, man, you know, from all the names you think of Southeast, like everybody was on the Southeast. What I have learned is we have a lot of SMHA and all that over there, but basically at that time, if you were black, you just lived on the Southeast.
Facts. Yeah.
So if you were black and you were in the let's say in Canton about the 50s, probably the 60s, you was in the Southeast. So everybody was kind of birthed out to Southeast at that time.
That's why I don't like it when they automatically assume because it's Southeast is bad, or it's, you know, like it's culture over there. You know what I'm saying? Like families. My mom has stories over there. You know, family. A lot of our family pictures were over there. Right. Maybe metropolitan housing, but it's family.
It's family.
So let me ask you this, man. The Reset. It's a youth program and it's doing incredible things. Why do you think spiritual development is so important for young people right now?
Yeah. So the Reset is, I probably did that maybe 2 years ago, maybe. So it's really not happening at this point. But when it comes to what that Reset means and why is it so important, it's because we as people sometimes have a hard time of coping.
Yeah.
Especially spiritual coping, like finding our way to navigate through hard times. This is why we get this word crash out right now, because that's just what we do. So what happens is when times go rough and things go bad, what do you fall on? What do you rely on? Some people is drinking, some people is drugs, some people is, you know, hitting things. So when it's about spiritual development, my heart is, how do you disciple somebody, saying when things happen, what is your foundation? Mine is Christ. So I find myself, hey, Lord, help me. I'm sick. But I have to call out to him and I have to understand that I'm dependent on him. So what I want to do is put people in a place that they understand that they need to be dependent on something bigger than themselves, which is to that other piece, is community, it's neighborhood, it's family.